Okay, so here's question 12. I want to also point out that all of these solutions are on OneNote. If you just need to look at a static version of it, it's not with me with my voice or going through them live. The live ones, I will be giving you the YouTube links, which is much more exciting than just looking at the solutions. So our second question, we're working with the summary statistics, the mean, the standard deviation, the IQR, and the maximum. And as you recall, mean is affected basically by everything. And the two values that are only affected by multipliers are our standard deviation and our IQR. So when we look at a data set, remember when a data set starts to blow up or starts to have things being multiplied, that affects everything. But when we just add, as I said, like if I added 5 points to everybody's score, everybody would move up 5 points. So the distance between you would not change. So standard deviation is not affected by adding things. It's only affected by multiplying. So if we look at this information up here, it says this company pays them a flat $600 a week, which isn't bad. And they get a commission of 50 cents per book, right? So if they don't sell any books, they make $600. If they sell some books, they make more. So that's our formula there that we can work with. And our formula is 600 plus zero point 0.5 times books sold. So the table shows the summary statistics for the number of books sold. They want you to fill in the table to see what would change for the statistics in terms of money earned if we knew the number of books sold. So if we look first at the mean, so let's look at this in letter A. As we know, the mean, if I add a value like 600 to everybody's score, and then I also multiply it, that's going to affect the mean. So the mean is going to be affected by both multiplication, which is this part here, and by a constant, right? So if we were looking at the mean, so let's do letter A, mean. The mean is going to be let's say it's that 600 you make no matter what, plus an average of, in this case, the average number of books sold was 640, so we added half of that, and that comes out to be $920 is the average amount of money made if the average number of books sold is 640. If we go on to standard deviation is not going to be affected by that 600. It's only going to get affected by that multiplier. So when we work with standard deviation, as I said, adding value to anything does not change the distance between the data values. So our standard deviation is just going to be 360 times 0.5. And so the standard deviation is going to be 180. I mean, the standard deviation of the dollars earned will be 180. For letter C, our IQR also follows the same rule. So the IQR, remember, is the distance between your 25th and your 75th percentile. So if your 25th percentile and 75th percentile all get added 600 to them, there's going to be no change in the distance between them. But if they all get multiplied by something, that will change the distance between them. In this case, they're getting multiplied by half. So 450 times 0.5 means our IQR is going to change to 225, which would be the IQR of the dollars earned. And then maximum is also the same as mean. That value is affected by both multiplier. So in this case, it would be 600 plus, in this case, 640, 1420 times 0.5. So our maximum for dollars earned is 1310. Okay, so that's how you fill in that part. And the second part said the newest employee had a pretty good week. Among all salespeople, her pay corresponded to a Z-score of 180. So if we look at 180, remember 180 is going to be 1.8 is going to be here to the right of the mean. And what was the Z-score of the number of books she sold? Well, if we normalize, that's what Z-scores are. It doesn't matter if we're looking at books sold or if we're looking at the money earned. they're both going to have the same exact z-scores. So that's kind of a little trick question there if you understand what z-scores are. So this is all for part A. And then for part B, her z-score would also be 1.8. Right? You can ask me about that later if you'd like to. And that is question number 12.